Today we are going to study about the ventral wall defects from first aid for the US Assembly Step 1 2025. So what is it? Development defect due to the failure of rostral fold closure, sternal defect, ectopia cordis, lateral fold closure, omphalocele gastroschisis, caudal fold closure, bladder exostrophy. So these are many complicated terms which we are going to simplify over here. What is the rostral fold, lateral fold, caudal fold? These are the three main fold which are going to create problem if we are having ventral wall defect. So there it is a new rostral neuropon. So this is the area where we are going to have the rostral fold closure defect. This is the caudal neuropon. Here we are going to have the caudal fold closure defect, and the next is the lateral closure. So this is the area we are going to have the lateral fold closure defects. So the next thing is there are sternal defects, which are the ectopia cordis. So there are going to be sternal defects in the rostral fold closure defects, and this is the ectopia cordis. Here you can see the heart is out of the body. Here we can see it is due to ectopia cordis, and it is a sternal defect. The next is the sternal fold closure, and here we have the omphalocele and gastroschisis. Here we are going to study them in detail after the caudal fold closure. So caudal fold closure, we have the example of bladder exostrophy. So this is the picture of bladder exostrophy. You can see there is the exposed bladder over here. Now we are going to study about the lateral fold closure defect, that is the gastroschisis and the omphalocele. So we are going to have turns in both of them. We are going to create a difference so that we can understand accordingly. For the first thing is we are having the presentation. What is the presentation in gastroschisis? The para-umbilical herniation of the abdominal content through the abdominal wall defect. The para-umbilical means the herniation is around the main umbilical ring. It is not through the umbilical ring but around. It is the abdominal wall defect which is around, which is closer to the umbilical ring but not through the umbilical ring. So it is the para-umbilical herniation. The next thing is the omphalocele is herniation of abdominal content through the umbilical ring. So this is the important thing, that it is through the umbilical ring. The next thing is the coverage, not covered by the peritoneum or amnion, right sided para-umbilical peritoneum or amnion. So you can see over here we have the picture of the gastroschisis. Here you can see the contents of the abdomen are outside the body but they are not covered by any membrane, and also it is written right sided. The para-umbilical means it is not through the umbilicals and it's mostly to the right side, so that's why it is written over here. The next thing is the coverage in the omphalocele. It is covered by the peritoneum and amnion light gray shiny sac midline membrane cover. So yeah, it is midline, we know this because it is to the umbilical ring, we have learned earlier, and it is membrane covered. That is important, and the cover of the membrane color is gray shiny sac, and it is basically the peritoneum and amnion in which the contents are closed. Here you can see the picture. This is the picture of the peritoneum and amnion in which the abdominal content are trapped and are outside of the body, and this is also the picture. Now the association, the gastroschisis is not associated with any chromosomal abnormality, not commonly associated, and it has a good prognosis. Good prognosis means it's going to heal properly after any surgical intervention. Now the omphalocele is associated with congenital abnormalities, example trisomies 13 and 18, Beckwith-Wiedemann syndrome, and other GI abnormalities like cardiac, GI tube and neural tube defects. Now the next thing is the congenital umbilical hernia, delay of the umbilical ring to close spontaneously following physiological herniation of the midgut patent umbilical orifice. Now you know that there is physiological herniation in the 6th week. Here we have covered this part, but I am telling you again that this is the 6th week of development. Here we can see that physiological herniation of the midgut is occurring over here. Now this physiological herniation, if it does not heal, if it does not go back in the 10th week to its original position, it is going to create problem for the baby, as it's going to create a herniation, patent umbilical orifice, in which the contents are going to be herniated. And it is the main thing is covered by skin. You can see it is covered by the skin, and it is through the umbilical ring. It is because it is not closed properly. Often reducible, but produced with increase in intra-abdominal pressure. So it can be reduced, but it can protrude due to increase in intra-abdominal pressure, which is abdominal pressure, which can be due to crying, or if the baby is continuously coughing. May be associated with congenital disorders, Down syndrome, and congenital hypothyroidism. Small defects usually close spontaneously. So the small defects are going to close spontaneously, but the big defects always cause like surgical intervention.